Alright, halfway house. It is Monday, about noon. Time to put some effort into this old turd. My 91 was a W250. I guess it still is, but I converted it to a dually. It's got a G56 6-speed in it. I've had it for almost 8 years. Been a great truck. Bought it in Albuquerque, drove it home. It's been to Oklahoma, it's been to Colorado, it's been to Nebraska, it's been to California, you know, and everywhere in between. So I've got my money's worth out of it. Love it. It's still a great truck. But it's developed a pretty bad death wobble. So I've got a buddy I used to work for, owns a reputable shop around here, and he says that 80% of death wobble comes from BFGs, worn BFGs especially. You know, me and my dad, we've always run BFGs, you know. I actually like the old style better. I mean, they just look so good on old trucks. But anyway, so I had an 06 Cummins, a little single cab, 4-wheel drive, 6-speed, you know, and had some BFG all-terrains on it. And once they started to wear, sure enough, I got death wobble. So, all right, let's put new tires on it and see if it goes away. Sure enough, put new tires on it, death wobble went away. So I'm like, okay, maybe Logan's onto something. So I converted this to a dually. I had the stock Michelin's or whatever, 235 80s, and they're old. I ran them for a couple days because I didn't have any other tires, and my buddy had just put these on his Fortune. They were too small. I wanted to go bigger, so I bought them for, you know, pretty good deal, and I think they had 13,000 miles on them, something like that. Cool. So I threw them on here. They've been great tires. That was probably 6 years ago, so haven't had any issues. So now this one's starting to wear. You know, it's starting to get cracked. So, sure enough, I'm starting to get death wobble. This thing probably needs the kingpins done. Excuse me, I just repacked the bearings, put new brakes on it. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to jack this front end up, see if it's got play in it, if it does, wear. And then I'm going to swap these front tires to the back and see if the death wobble goes away. Because I'd like to get this thing in better running and driving shape so I can daily drive this while I put a 6-speed in this. That'd be cool. So I guess let's go for a ride before we do anything and see if I can document the death wobble. Alright, see if we can get some death wobble action going on here. Second gear. Oh, that's hard one-handed. Got a bunch of bumps. Let's see if we can get it to do it. Oh, there it is already. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if we can do it again. I ain't really doing it now. Oh, kind of. What's weird is I don't really feel it in the steering wheel. A little bit. You can see it there. There it is. Oh, God. Oh, God. It went away there. See if we can do it again when I let off. Oh, yeah. There it is. Holy crap. That's fourth gear going uphill, probably 30 miles an hour. You can feel it there. I wish I could see it from the outside. Anyway, so there's the death wobble. I just did like 3 or 4 laps around the block and couldn't get it to do it at all, and then now it's doing it every time. So I'm gonna limp her back home. We're gonna jack her up in the air and see what we find. See y'all. Back to the halfway house. We're gonna jack her up. Check for bearing play. I just repacked those bearings. They're in good shape. Check the torque on the adapters, that kind of crap. Check the kingpins, and either way I'm gonna rotate the tires, which I normally don't really believe in rotating tires because I mean, if the front or the rear are wearing out, then you have an issue. Swapping tires front to rear isn't fixing your issue. It's just wearing your tires more evenly, which I don't really believe in. Obviously, we have an issue on this side. So this is a Band-Aid. This is not a fix, in my opinion. I'm just really trying to see if this stupidly, oddly worn out tire is my issue, which I think it is. So we're going to jack her up. We'll see. Oh, got her jacked up. It's hard to do by yourself. It's hard to film and do by yourself, but I don't know if you can hear that clunk. It doesn't do it this way. Checked it with the rock bar. It doesn't, unload the kingpins. No play that way, but And what's weird is it doesn't seem to be in the tie rod. So I'm gonna check the bearing and go from there. All right, got it apart. These are all tight. Don't really feel any play. It spins like it should, not too loose, not too tight. Check the other side up. So I'm thinking this play is actually, because you can see it and feel it. I don't know if you can, but most of the noise, it's coming from the lock on the steering wheel, on the steering column. All this shit seems tight. This is tight. So I don't think that's really the issue. So I'm gonna keep digging, let y'all know what I find. I did notice this. Missing a lug nut there. That's kind of scary, but again, all this is tight. I don't see any play that's moving with it. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's just going on and off the lock. And that's where what I thought was play was coming from. So keep digging, see what we find. Another thing, I don't know if y'all can really see, but these bushings are absolutely smoked. Front and rear. I mean, I don't know if you can really see up in there, but they're not in good shape. I mean, leaf springs aren't in good shape. Pulled this side off. No play. This side, no play, really. So, got an oil leak somewhere. This thing actually didn't leak a drop when I bought it, but looks like that pan's leaking. I did the front seal, front crankshaft seal and the cover. Well, fuck, that was even years ago, but pretty crusty. Runs really, really good. Hopefully I can get it, this death wobble figured out, and we'll go from there. Got the back jacked up, about to pull them off, so rotate these tires and go from there. See y'all. Okay, as I'm taking these off, I was thinking, well, these have a hub too. I should check the, status of this hub. I don't know if you can hear that. You probably can't see it. This one feels a little loose. I last did this one probably, it was before I went to Nebraska, so that was probably 3 or 4 years ago. So looks like I do have a new nut and the correct socket. So I guess we'll pull this nut off and put the new one on, and still rotate the tires and go from there. So maybe we have compounding issues or multiple issues or something. Yeah, as you can tell, these are still tight. Hear that clunk? Yeah. So that's that hub. Hopefully those bearings aren't smoked. Let's put a new nut on it. I think this hub's been leaking. I replaced that seal last time I was in here, and I realized very quickly that it was still leaking, which apparently is common on these. But this may be, in fact, due to a loose hub nut. We'll see. Keep on digging. I don't know how well you can see this, but it looks like our lock actually backed off and walked a little bit. So, got my socket and, oh, there it is. Got a new nut. Kept the spare one just in case I ever needed it. Looks like you need it. So, throw that bad boy on there, get her back on the road. That's probably part of the death wobble. And honestly, when I just drove it, I'm like, man, it kind of feels like it's coming from the rear. Kind of surprised these tires aren't worn weird. They look pretty even. So, replace that and go from there. Look at that, hand tight. Okay, there's an issue. We'll replace her. Alright, she's back together. Well, of course, now I can't spin it. But, had to go get a adapter. I didn't have one here at the house for my, I think it's like 2 9/16. Oh, there you go. 2 9/16. So, I think the spec is, well, it depends on who you talk to, but everyone says, new bearings different than old bearings and blah, 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 and I kind of just do it how I've always done it. You're not supposed to reuse these, so maybe that was part of the issue. Maybe I just didn't get seated good. I don't know. But like I said, that thing was off 5 or 6 years ago, so it's been a while. And it's been in Nebraska and to California and back, and then all over Texas since then. So not sure. Outer bearing looked good. I didn't really look at the inner, so I'm just going to tighten her up, and it feels nice and smooth. So let's say that. Anyway, tires going back on, and see how she goes. All right, 60 miles an hour. It does have a vibration, which I assume is just these crappy ass tires. It kind of wants the death wobble every once in a while, but it never really does. It's just got like a, you know, some sort of, it's a strange vibration. Like it's like it wants the death wobble, but it doesn't quite get there. I left this front tire there, and it's wearing just like the other one, but not as bad. So I think my main issue is the tires. Why the tires wore is probably the kingpins, even though I couldn't find anything wrong. Also, when I did all the steering on this, I left it on the ground and just did it to where I adjusted the tie rods where they just dropped right in where they were. So it probably needs an alignment. So you can kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got, I mean, it's a 30-year-old truck. It's going to have a little shimmy, but I do believe that the rest of this is in the tires, and the tires did wear for a reason. So I'm going to deem this thing safe to drive. I just put probably 10 miles on it. I don't think it's even worth getting the tires balanced. Like I said, I have those leaf springs on order. So when I do leaf springs, I'm going to do all new axles and new tires as well. So better slow down here. To the school zone. So yeah, I feel much more comfortable driving this thing now. It's a million times better. So thing might get put back into daily driver status soon, and I'll put the 6-speed in that hemi. So figured something out anyways, got something done. Oh yeah, I do have my registration sticker. That one's out. I got paid for the registration in like December or maybe even November, and I didn't get the registration until March. Luckily I hadn't been pulled over. Well, I haven't really been driving it, so I need to put that on. Anyway, figured something out. Start driving this thing again. See y'all later.